Not a single nice game, good job, attaboy, pat on the back. No one. This has been a bad day of football for the 49ers. They looked a little slow. They looked a little old. They looked a little beat at the point of attack. They did not get the push that you wanted them to get in the running game. And what totally just real pansy level decisions that we saw out of Kyle Shanahan in this game too. I mean, when Shanahan could have been uber aggressive, he wasn't. And instead of really swinging the momentum in this game, they didn't. Special teams mistakes. Saw him again. Kyle's having a bad year. The offseason was bad. John Lynch didn't get the job done. Kyle Shanahan hasn't gotten the job done. Brandon Ayuk has yet to show up and actually play football that matters. Trent Williams is behind the curve. And Brock was awful today. Jordan Mason wasn't who you needed him to be today. That offensive line wasn't what you needed it to be today. Nick Bosa got a little pressure, but a little is still not enough. You know, there's sometimes you can just be like, man, it's going to be your year. It's going to be your year. It's our year. It feels like it. There is nothing about this year that feels like, oh yeah, it's about to be your year. It's one of them slow starts, but don't worry. It'll all work out. It'll all come out in the wash. Nothing's going to come out in today's wash. This was a stain on the Niners season. This was going to be a get right game or a stay getting wrong game, and the Niners stay getting wrong. They lose to the Chiefs. I mean, I don't think it's a full referendum on the entirety of the Kyle era, but when here's the thing. If every single bad moment of football is fire Kyle, that was terrible, what good does it do you to actually reach a moment that criticism is legitimate? This is legitimate criticism day for Kyle. He coached scared. His team didn't execute. His quarterback was not good today. His defense wasn't up to the challenge today. The defensive coordinator that owns him owned him again today. If you're going to say Kyle sucks all the time, being able to say that Kyle sucks on a bad day really has no value to it. Kyle doesn't suck. He did today. This was a day Kyle sucked. This was a day that Brock sucked. This was a day the Niners got in their own way more than they helped move the Kansas City Chiefs out of it. That is still the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to give credit. Dude, Andy Reid coming off a bye week means you're going to lose. Not some of the time, but basically all of the time. On one side of the coin, the Niners are still going to be able to ball their fist and throw it at the NFL. On the other side of the coin, they no longer have the punching power taken to knock out the big boys. The Niners goofed around with a offseason that was the opposite of the smooth offseason. We finally get a smooth offseason. Brock is healthy. Everyone gets to work out together. Brandon Ayuk wasn't there for any of it. Trent Williams wasn't there for any of it. Ricky Pearsall gets shot. Smooth was not available at any point in time. And the Niners have been on a bumpy ride ever since the smooth never showed up. Purdy's arm strength is not an issue. Ronnie Bell not running his route is an issue. Debo smelling of the puss today was a little bit of an issue. Brandon Ayuk signing a $30 million contract and then playing like a $200,000 a year humper. Like he's terrible. Brandon Ayuk has been terrible since he signed that contract. George Kittle's been money in the red zone. He had a couple nice plays today, but he doesn't string enough of those together. Jordan Mason has done a hell of a job as Christian McCaffrey's understudy, but he didn't go enough places today for it to really matter. He got stronger as the game went along. The only element of the Niners game plan that got stronger as the game went along. There were a couple times today where going for it was the right thing to do, and Kyle didn't do it. Again, Kyle gets conservative at the wrong moments, and he gets overly aggressive at the wrong moments. The chance to tie this game, Kyle decided to pucker his butthole and go with a third-string kicker to miss a point after touchdown. If you ain't going to help yourself, I can't help you either, dude. The 49ers defense, in some ways, did what it needed to do against Patrick Mahomes. It's a 2-interception, no touchdown, 154-yard. By the way, Mahomes is my fantasy quarterback. Kareem Hunt, 22 carries, 78 yards. He won the game. Kareem Hunt was the best player on the field offensively for either team all day. 2-touchdown day for Kareem Hunt. These are the numbers that Kansas City is going to be producing. Did the Niners win or lose that game? I always said, they were going to be set up to win that game. Here's a big number, don't you think? Right here. Can you see me circling that with my mouse? 3-interception game for Brock Purdy. I like Brock an awful lot, but let's call a spade, and he sucked today. Brock was not good. You can't even give Mustafa his flowers because he got stiffed by the quarterback. Here's the thing. Nobody gets flowers. No one's deserving of them. Not a single nice game, good job, attaboy, pat on the back. No one. Ricky Pearsall made his NFL debut. That is the only recap of any extraordinary anything that we're going to get into today. Ricky Pearsall made his NFL debut. The rest of this team today doesn't deserve a single attaboy. But you turn around, you look at Nick Sorensen, you say, that ain't good enough. You turn around, you look at Brian Schneider, and you say, dude, you haven't been good enough, not even close. You know, Brandon Staley was supposed to make things better. What's Brandon Staley doing for this team? This is no longer a defense-first football team. It is an offensive team that is all out of tricks or surprising anyone. You're materially bad on special teams. So the identity is 3-4 through 7 games sounds about right. You know, I mean, really, knowing what we know, knowing every angle and nook and cranny of the season and how it was built and the weird off season and blah, 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 blah. We're all being honest with each other when everything in the NFL is hard enough to begin with. When you make it harder on yourself to find cohesion, find harmony, find, look good, feel good, play good. When you can't find any of that, finding wins, which is hard when all of that is going in the right direction, gets even harder. The true identity of this team, and maybe the truth of this run, is your best shot is the one you missed last year. And you want to talk about some ownage. Kyle's got ownage on the Dallas Cowboys. Kyle's got ownage on Mike McCarthy. Kyle does have his own, the way that Andy Reid has his ownage on Kyle, Kyle's got ownage over the Cowboys. You are right. Best thing about next week is it seems like it's set up for a win. So God forbid you lose that. And like I said, you lose to the Dallas Cowboys Sunday Night Football. Next week, the river of shit officially starts to flow through the 49ers locker room, and guys' reputations take massive hits, and the way that ownership thinks about everyone on this team could start evolving in that moment right there. Thanks for watching. Tune into the Damon Bruce Show live on YouTube every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.